Tariffs are going to give the Federal Reserve a headache, but it might end up working out in your favor. The Federal Reserve has a lot of control over interest rates, and of all of the government agencies, this one probably has the biggest impact on your wallet, so it is really worthwhile to understand what the Fed is and what the FOMC is. Now, the Fed has what's called a dual mandate. This means that it is always trying to balance two things: unemployment and inflation. These are always pushing and pulling against each other because when the economy is doing well, unemployment tends to go down, but inflation goes up. And when the economy is doing poorly, unemployment goes up, but inflation tends to go down. So there is this constant dance between the two sides of their mandate, and tariffs are going to throw a complete wrench at it. On one side, tariffs could cause cost push inflation. That was part one of this series. On the other side, tariffs could cause unemployment to rise as companies cut their costs and shore up the budget. That was part two of this series. Where the Fed usually has a seesaw with one moving in either direction, now both are going the wrong direction, up. So now we get to interest rates, because the Fed sets the baseline of all interest rates in the country. We're talking car loans, credit cards, mortgages, that sort of thing. The baseline of all of these interest rates is called the federal funds rate. It's the rate at which banks lend to each other. To slow down the economy, which controls inflation, the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates. That's what they did in 2022 and 2023 when inflation was out of control. To speed up the economy, which controls unemployment, they will reduce the interest rate, which is what they're doing right now. But if both unemployment and inflation are going up, what do? Well, chances are they would reduce interest rates because they understand that the inflation we would experience is cost push, which means that the inflation isn't really a good sign that the economy is healthy. It actually might be the opposite. So instead, they would focus on unemployment, and they would view it as a situation where the economy is doing poorly. Unemployment is on the rise, and inflation has been discounted. Well, how do you react in this situation? You lower interest rates. Essentially, they would act as if the economy is doing poorly regardless of the indicators that inflation is giving us, which is generally good for your wallet.